A lone person is stumbling through the desert, dehydrated and close to starvation. This exceptional individual has set out for lands unknown, for the wonders of magical vistas, and this person is succeeding where all others have failed. We know this trope from heroes like Conan, Red Sonja, and countless others, and yet the game does not particularly support this type of survival, and this is where this book comes in. We're bringing survival to the underworld. Hello everybody, this is Thilo Graf speaking, one of the authors of the Survivalist's Guide to Spelunking, a book that is designed to be a sequel of sorts to the Dungeoneer's survival guide from back in the day, one of my most beloved and cherished old school supplements. My goal with the Survivalist's Guide to Spelunking was to create a book that enables you to customize your underworld survival experience, with highly modular systems, a plethora of little minigames that can be played as solo adventures or with the entire group, in various levels and degrees of complexity that allow you to customize your game in the way that you see fit. Another very important design goal for me was to make the environments, the biomes, all those stunning vistas below the surface, the main star of the show in this book. I didn't want to write yet another treatise on the societies of different races in the underworld, and instead focus on the caves, the caverns, the fungal jungles, the subterranean seas, and, of course, the lightless abyss. Realm of the endless black where no light is ever seen, where people begin to change. This massive tome also includes huge tables for you, a powerful generator that lets you create hazards for your own underworld, a ton of different dressing tables for foraging, for hunting. We also have rules for hypothermia, and you can, for example, contract traumitis, which is a really nasty fungal infection. And there are other things, other dangers out there. One word of warning: don't gaze into the lightless abyss. It might gaze back at you. The momentum engine I wrote for this book seeks to make combats more dynamic and also three-dimensional. It helps portraying chases and comes in two completely different complexity levels that both play very well with the rest of the book. So if you prefer a more simulationalist approach, that is very much possible, and if you'd rather prefer something simple, then that's also possible. The underworld is a place where verticality is extremely important, and this poses a problem for games that tend to use two-dimensional maps, right? I mean, have you ever tried mapping a huge vertical dungeon with a lot of connecting tunnels that go into the floor, into the ceiling of other rooms and stuff like that? That's a colossal pain even if you're good at drawing maps, right? Yeah, well, I'm not good at drawing maps. In fact, I suck horribly at it. And so I tried to devise a system that would help me map out complex, three-dimensional, vertical dungeons, and I came up with something. And you just need a piece of hex paper and a pencil. And that is all. Of course, we also have a simplified yet deep resource management engine that gets rid of the necessity to track food, water, and basic creature comforts as individual entities, and just rolls them all up in one resource that's easy to keep track of and, more importantly, fun. Have you ever wondered why grappling with a huge cave octopus takes just as little oxygen out of a character under the waves than just swimming around? Well, I have, and a lot of other people have as well, and so we devised a system that makes breath, for example when diving beneath the waves or into deadly clouds of spores in the fungal jungles, a viable resource, and thus allows you to create whole new adventures. What else do we have? We have elementally infused climbing kits. We have rules for foraging rare and mysterious objects in the underworld. We have, based on that, rules for hunting expeditions, including canny responses of the quarries that you're hunting. We have rules for camping in hostile environment, and the means to play a huge underworld hex campaign. So, the Survivalist Guide to Spelunking is, quite frankly, the best thing I have ever written, and I'm usually quite critical of my own writing. The book is all about survival in the underworld, and survival in a way that is usually not that well supported by 5e. So I've written a whole bunch of different systems that will help you make survival more exciting and, well, more meaningful in your game. My goal with this book was to enable you to play whole campaigns, whole types of adventures that the core system simply won't let you, and thus hopefully retain the viability of this book far beyond the confines of the edition itself. The respective systems are all highly modular and allow you to customize the systems according to the whims and desires of you and your group, regardless of whether you play 5th edition more akin to a complex combat simulator or like a variant of an old school role-playing game. From highly complex to really simple, there are a lot of modular bits and pieces that you can mix and match however you want.